guys, welcome back to the garage. It's been a little bit, but we got a fresh episode on the bean. Today's episode, I think we're just gonna rebuild the turbo. I got one. I think I paid like $50 for just the rebuild kit. I have it somewhere. Anyway, and I didn't think the turbo was that bad. Like, it was smoking excessively. Like, I know it's a Honda, it's supposed to smoke a little bit, and at first I was like, oh, it's probably just oil burning out of the exhaust from the old turbo, right? Because the old turbo was pretty blown up. But it seemed I'd fire it up and it would just like no smoke for, I don't know, 3 to 5 seconds, and then it would start smoking, and I felt like that was like as soon as the oil got to the turbo, then it would start, like oil pressure got to the turbo, then it would start pushing by and pushing out the seal. So yeah, I ordered a rebuild kit, so we're gonna toss that in today, and hopefully that solves our problem. And yeah, we got a couple other things. We found an EG at the junkyard, so we rated some interior parts. Just pretty chill video, not super high paced, just relaxing. But yeah, thanks for joining us, and do what you do. Watch the thing. Well, I'm gonna say that you can't even fit in there. That. It's delightful. Nasty, it's just full of oil. That would be why she's smoking so bad. Gross. But whatever, get her cleaned up. It's a new rebuild kit over here. Some fresh gaskets, clips. See how they go, I guess. That doesn't sound super healthy. Hopefully the shaft's okay. Yeah, she got some woggle in her. Oh yeah, good thing I got fresh gaskets. That one's pooched. Nice. Well, that thing came apart super easy. All the other ones I've ever taken apart have just been just a nightmare to get apart, especially out of the exhaust housing. But this one pretty much just loosened the bolts off and just wiggled her, and out she came. Not even bad. So you can see intake side. Get you under some light maybe. Yeah, you can see the oil flowing in there. That's gross. Blech. Well, hopefully this fixes it. Before I even get started, I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit. Have a little inspect. So far it doesn't look too bad, actually looks pretty good. Yeah, just got just a shaft play in there. Actually quite a bit. But whatever, old turbo is to be expected. So I'll hit her with some brake clean, wipe it down, clean it up the best I can, and then start breaking it apart. I'm not going to get it balanced, which I know some guys are like, well, you're just wasting your money, you're going to blow stuff up, blah, 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 whatever. The nearest place that balances turbos from me is about 5 hours away that I could find. So I'll describe it, impeller, nut, whatever. And yeah, I'll try to get her put back together as close as we can. It's not like it's my daily, and it's not like it's making 700 horsepower, so you know what? Worst case, we gotta do this again in a year or whatever. 2 years, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. scrubbed it in with a razor blade, all of them, and on the end here, and then I just marked it in with a little fine tip Sharpie. This is the new nut that came with the rebuild kit, and normally turbos are reverse thread on the shaft, so yeah, this one is too. So let's just give that a check. So one more thing that I forgot to show when I was doing the other turbo, but is good practice, or something that I do. Take yourself a caliper, go down, just to get the depth, and then lock it in there. Okay, and then when you do have it done and you're tightening the nut down, at least you get it right to where it was. I don't know. It's a little something that I do because, like I said, rebuild places are far away, or balance places are far away. So mark it, and then measure it with a caliper so that you can reset it to where it was. And yeah, start going to town. Probably just put it on frame lap so I can concentrate, but those are the things that I try to start with before I get into it. Look at this. Where's the cap? Just carbon and burnt oil. That's nasty. I wonder it sounded so crunchy. Alright, so the rebuild actually worked really well. So that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Took a little bit. The gasket didn't seal up, so I just had to, the old cork gasket maker thing, and as soon as you tighten it down, it just splits.
but it seems to be sealing, so we'll leave that on there for now. I do have a leak. You can see my puddle down there. That's coming out of my oil pan drain, so I'll have to figure something out with that. I tried to patch it up before with a little bit of whatever, but it didn't hold up, so yeah, we'll figure that out in the future here. I also need to find some sort of air filter. I don't know, maybe just one of those HKS mushroom thingamabobbers that just go on there and give me enough room just to filter it so we don't wreck it right away, because there's dusty streets around here, never clean. We took it for a rip around the block and it makes boost. It's it's not leaking. There was, after we got it warmed up and the exhaust was warm, then it started smoking. But I think that's just residual oil left in there, because I'm sure the whole exhaust system is full of oil. Overall, it's mint. So a little bit more work to do just to fix up the leaks, but we will tackle that when we tackle it. Moving on, we went to our local pick-apart place the other day and found some carpet, which is over here, and got some back plastics, which are in decent shape. They need I washed them at the car wash, but they need to be sprayed down and some cleaner. So got Trav came by the other day while I was doing the turbo and put those in for me, so that's mint. Got, look at all our fingerprints already. Man, this thing was clean. We got a I don't know if it's all a DX or a CX, but the little back thing with the wiper delete. So it's just an empty box instead of a big heavy wiper thing. So that's mint. What's going on here? I'll have to look into that. Yeah, got that. All these back plastics. The only thing they didn't have was the tray that goes back here with the carpet. So it's kind of disappointing. And then I didn't bother taking the back seats because whoever had it was a smoker and there was cigarette burns everywhere. So it's unfortunate, but that's how it is. So I'll have to keep an eye out, find some carpet, and maybe get a little bit. I don't know if I'm going back seats or if I'm just going to find some carpet that matches and put it where the back seat was. Just clean it up a bit. Didn't realize that EGs are just ridiculously hard to find these days, apparently. There was one in the junkyard, and I remember back in the day, sorry, I'm just moving this. They were everywhere. Couldn't even go to the Honda section without finding 10 EGs, but this is the best carpet I could find. And of course, they didn't have a floor mat in it, so it's got some holes. And right here is a little bit shredded. Must be from swinging their high-heeled boots in and out. But I'm sure we could sew that up at some point. Get our back together there. But yeah, I don't know. Other than that, I mean, it's not great shape, but I didn't pay much for it. So there's that. It is black. If I get a floor mat, just cover most of that. Took it to the car wash, blasted it out, hung it up on the shed. Let it air out because it stank really bad. Now me, in my infinite wisdom, when I put these seats in, I was not too concerned about getting them out. So some of them have been, permanently affixed. Can't see, but yeah, those are liquid bolts. So I'm gonna have to modify this carpet a little bit to get it in there. I think probably just, I don't know. Not sure what I'll do with that. If I just cut an X in between them and then just fold the carpet underneath of it. I think so. I think that's what we'll have to do. But either way, it'd be nice to have something in there. And then I'll get that in and I'll vacuum it again and give this a vacuum and a wipe down before we even try to put it in so there's not dirt all underneath it and stuff. But all right, let's get to work. Well, I didn't find anything too fantastic in here. A couple dart packs under the seat. These I already knew I had. This I don't know if I've showed you guys. That is a connecting rod from one of the Z6s that popped. It was a boost controller malfunction. It wouldn't pull boost up until we kept cranking it, and then still nothing. Crank it some more, still nothing. Finally cranked it all the way to the max, and then we got max boost, and yeah, made half a pull, and that happened. Yeah, just sticking out the side of the block. So that's kind of cool. They're so tiny. Okay. Just the pinky sized. Pretty near. Crazy. Anyway. Alright, well that's a little better. At least I got the dirt out of it. Little floor in there. So yeah, it looks pretty shiny. Not bad. Give them a quick... panels a quick wipe. Give the floor a quick wipe. I do like this color. But, I mean, even it is beat up. Like, that's not a shadow. That's primer coming through. So, whatever. The old girl had a hard life. Patch her up the best we can. Alright, I think I'm going to get started on the carpet. I permanently borrowed my wife's kitchen scissors. So, and yeah, I think the plan is, just like I was saying, we're just going to go from bolt hole to bolt hole. And then just cut an X in there so I can just tuck it in on each side. Instead of fighting with the seats for 2 hours, because that would be a pain and I don't really want to do that. So. All right, this carpet is in there, and you can see, oh, I forgot some tucker in. It's pretty haggard on the driver's side. It didn't have a mat in the car that we got it, so that's all worn through from your boots or high-heeled loafers. And this here, at least it's on the edge, so I think my brother has a sewing kit for upholstery here, and patch that back together at some point in time. But yeah, not bad. Cleans it up a lot. Passenger side looks quite a bit better than the driver's side. It's just not as beat out. I'm guessing this guy was a lonely fellow. Passenger side looks quite a bit better than the driver's side. It's the lighting makes it look a little bit faded, but it's actually not bad at all. So yeah, should be great. Dope. I took the battery cable. Use my face. I relocated the battery cable because it was just kind of strewn across the floor. I don't know how it ended up on that side, but this is where the battery originally was. So that's where I went back in. Put some shielding on the cable where it goes into here. and then just ran it in the pocket that goes along here up to where it's supposed to be. So a little bit cleaner. At least a guy can actually reach the battery if you need to from the driver's seat. Yeah, that's I think that's the end of my plastics and carpet. This looks better except for all the handprints on there. The wiper delete. It's just an empty box in there. And yeah, at some point I'll have to do something about the back here. Get her all cleaned up. Honestly, if I could just find some carpet that's black, halfway matches that, and just cut it out, set it in there, maybe, just to fill it in and clean it up a little bit, just so it doesn't look so ratchet. That'd be alright. I don't think I need rear seats right now. I think it would look better without them. The reason why we did strip it was because I left it in storage with the seat folded, and a mouse must have got in there, had a nest, had a bunch of babies. Freaking opened the seat up, and then there was just baby mice just coming out of there. It's disgusting. So, oh hey Smiley, how are you? Just the best. All right, so next up on the list, trim piece that we got from the wrecker. Fit in there, and when I went to grab it, I was like, oh sweet, it's in good shape, but it's a pretty average. All the tabs are broken off, has been glued in, so whatever. I'll just glue it back on and be good to go. Got some, I guess it's acoustic seal? I don't know. Construction adhesive anyway. It's what I had left over, and I didn't feel like going out and buying some new stuff, so I had this from when I built the garage, because I way bought too much. Oh, I'm dumb. It's acoustic seal. Anyone that's ever used this knows that it doesn't dry. It says, since the adhesive does not dry, duh. Anyway, have some actual construction adhesive, so I guess I'll break this one open and do that again. Oh, I'm so slow sometimes. Alright, that wasn't too bad to get off of there. It was stuck on my hands now, but a little bit of penetrating oil and pretty much just disintegrated. So that's alright. Use brake cleaner to clean the whatever off again. Okay, what's the dry time on this? Here's to everything ever made. Okay. 24-hour cure time. Surface. Use mechanical support for 24 hours. Okay, so slap it on, clamp it or tape it together, and leave it for 24 hours. I can do that.
There's a pretty chance that's never turning off again. Do this without getting it all over everything. Okay. Nice. Clamp her up.
I don't have any small enough clamps. Just use hockey tape. All right, give that a couple days to dry up. That should be, yeah, that's solid on there. And bam, side molding again. That's great. This thing hasn't had one forever. Well, I think that's where we're gonna call her for today. I feel like we made good progress. I know it was super boring. I was bored doing it, but I mean, it's little things that need to be done, right? You can't just always slap it together and then go party. So in the next video, I'm hoping to get plates on it and take it out for a rip. I got to deal with my leaky oil pan, or the turbo drain is leaking. Do a bolt check on it, check my alignment, which seems to be not bad. They're both pointed forward, so that's all right. But we'll do a double check, check all the fluids, check the transmission. I forgot about that one. And yeah, hopefully we'll take it out for a rip. I mean, don't tell anyone that I ripped it around the block with no plates. I know it was pretty fun, but I think I better put plates on it, at least to have insurance. So yeah, hopefully that's the next one. But I guess thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. And yeah, catch you on the next one.